There are some great astrology podcasts out there, and if you like what you hear every day, would you consider sharing the love with a 5-star review on Apple Podcast? And if you have a suggestion, please, by all means, drop it in the chat at funastrology.com. We get to focus on something again today that hasn't been there for a while. It's nice to see them, nice to talk about. Oh, they've been there, just not prolific. Trines and squares, and we have quite a few in the chart all through today. Basically, they're all stemming up from Cancer, and they're headed in different directions around this chart. Hi, everybody. Thomas Miller on the Fun Astrology Podcast. Wednesday, June 26th. Month is almost gone. Pisces moon today moved in there at a little after 2 a.m. this morning. You can ring up the home office this morning while you're having your coffee. They just might answer. And tomorrow, too. Actually, using Steve Forrest's technique from Book of the Moon, the last aspect that this Piscean moon will make early Friday morning at 4:44 a.m. for you keeping score on numerology, Eastern, is a conjunction to Neptune, of course, the ruler of Pisces. Now, the technique says that whatever that last aspect of the current moon before the current moon goes void of course, so the Piscean moon now, this fresh Piscean moon, will go void of course early Friday morning. That aspect, whether it's a positive or a challenging aspect, determines the structure or the reward, if you will, basically, of what you do and what actions you take during the transit of this moon. So you have between now and then, with the moon exhibiting the characteristics of Pisces and Neptune, amplified and expressed when it leaves by that conjunction with Neptune itself. Okay, so now tell me what that means. This is where you have to get that coin out of your pocket. You have to look at the head side and flip it around and look at the tails and get really tuned in that there are two ways you can approach this. Positive side of Pisces, Neptune, and the challenging shadow side. The choice is always ours, and it's determined by the actions and the intentions behind them. So today, Wednesday, and tomorrow, Thursday, would be some really good days to square up and make sure that you are aligned with your intuitive impulses. And these may be intuitive impulses you've already received, or if not, maybe they come over the next couple of days. Or maybe you work on just intuition in general. I narrated a great audiobook on this for Fred Dodson called Intuition Training. It's on Audible and Apple Books. I think most people say, I kind of think I hear intuition, but I'm just not sure. Well, that would be a great place to start right there. But that's putting this whole 2 days of Pisces moon to work, is checking in and connecting in with the highest side of Pisces, which is our very plug-in to Source. Now, two other aspects. One happens at just past noon today. Venus squares the nodes of the moon. Kathy Allen popularized the term the bending of the nodes when a planet is at the 90-degree angle aspect to the nodes of the moon, plus or minus several degrees of orb. Doesn't matter. People ask what kind of orb. Well, like Robert Glasscock here would probably say 8. In Steve Forrest's Elements series, he says that you basically choose what kind of data you want on the table when you're doing the calculations, when you're doing the analysis. If you want a lot of data, widen the orb. If you want less data, shorten the orb. In horary astrology, you can move within the whole sign itself, so just a sign-based aspect, a sign-based square, is absolutely allowed. On a transiting basis like we're experiencing today, you might experience some crossroads in your path with the things that you love and value, Venus, related to the characteristics of the nodes of the moon, basically your soul and karmic development, your soul path, things that are unresolved from the past, things that are the direction that we are to go and to resolve, particularly related to your relationships, for example, your money, the beauty around you, in other words, your home, your living environment, your emotions, which I know for a lot of us have just been all over the place here with this energy. I just keep hearing of the challenges, but maybe over these next 2 days could be a synchronicity that could bring some of that work to light. Now, if you're interested in the nodes, Robert and I over on Old Soul, New Soul, Astrology Podcast, did a 2-part series on the nodes, and Robert is writing a book on the whole thing about the nodes. So we are really going to deep dive on this. There are multiple interpretations of the nodes. We're going to try to dissect all of that right now, but just check out those 2 episodes. They're just fairly recent, maybe 2 or 3 back, 2-part series. And then you could download the show log that we have now on funastrology.com. We have all of the show logs for Robert's podcast, and you can look by title through there and you can search it. It's a searchable PDF, and it's free, so go pick one up. One other aspect here at 2:09 p.m. Eastern is Mercury Trines Saturn. This is a water-based trine. We're talking about the relationship of these signs. Here is Mercury in watery Cancer trining Saturn in watery Pisces. Even though this is a trine, it still involves Saturn, and Saturn has this right to it. It also goes retrograde on Saturday, so it's very, very strong right now, Saturn is. We'll talk more about that tomorrow, but especially because of that, be careful with your speech over the next couple of days. Think before you talk. I keep mentioning this. It's a theme that the chart reminds us like a pendulum swinging back and forth. Take a pause before you respond. Because of Saturn's slow go kind of characteristic, when you do respond, make it something about the other person. This is an aspect that could encourage us to get out of ourselves a little bit and get in the space of the other and do that in a positive way. And also because Pisces here again is involved, Saturn is in Pisces, do it from a more intuitive perspective. Use Saturn's connection with the home office there to say, I want a really good, solid message here, not just something flying off the top of my head. See, double theme. Hope you use it. All right, have a good day. I love you. Good luck with it all. Bye-bye.